You guys, we've got to talk about the drama going on between the BFFs Podcast and Trisha Paytas and Oscar. This feud has been escalating for weeks, and it shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. We've covered parts of it before, but now BFFs has once again fired back at Trisha and Oscar. The tension keeps building, and with each response, the situation grows even more chaotic. Josh and Brianna had a lot to say, and we're going to break down every detail of the response. The internet is dissecting every word, and fans are picking sides as the feud gets nastier. So buckle up, because this feud between Trisha Paytas, Oscar, and the BFFs Podcast just got even messier. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. What seemed like petty back and forth at first has now spiraled into something much larger. If you thought last week was chaotic, things didn't stop there. In fact, the drama has only snowballed, drawing in more reactions and sparking bigger debates. Josh and Brianna have now directly responded to everything Trisha and Oscar said. And let's just say, their reaction wasn't exactly what people were expecting. They admitted they're a little confused about why Trisha and Oscar keep bringing them up. That confusion has turned into frustration, which is now fueling their latest comments. So let's rewind just a little bit to last week so we're all caught up, because unless you've been following every update, you might have missed some of the key sparks that lit this fire. Last week, the internet exploded after a clip from the BFFs Podcast went viral. The clip showed Josh and Brianna openly expressing their frustration with Oscar and dragging Trisha into it too. To be clear, most of their anger seemed aimed at Oscar, not Trisha, but once her name got mixed in, the feud instantly became bigger and harder to untangle. The drama started when Oscar was asked on his personal channel to react to Josh and Bri's interview with Adam Sandler for Happy Gilmore 2. Fans wanted his take because Oscar has real experience in that world and a reputation for honest critiques. Oscar didn't hold back, saying it just felt random that they landed such a huge A-list interview. Viewers took his comments as him questioning the legitimacy of their platform compared to mainstream media outlets. He pointed out that Josh and Bri are mainly known for the BFFs Podcast and as influencers. And for him, that background didn't match the level of celebrity access they were suddenly getting. Oscar's point was that they're not red carpet reporters or seasoned junket interviewers. So for him, seeing them land Adam Sandler felt a little out of place. Now sure, it was just Oscar giving his opinion, but Josh and Brianna didn't take it as a harmless observation. They saw it as a direct insult. They quickly turned it into a they issue, lumping Trisha into the criticism too. Even though it was Oscar speaking on his own channel, Trisha suddenly became part of the narrative. And that's where things really got messy. Because once Trisha's name got pulled into it, the feud became twice as personal. At the end of the day, Oscar does work for Entertainment Tonight and has legitimate experience. He's covered red carpets, interviewed celebrities, and handled major press junkets. That's exactly why people on his stream asked him to react. They knew his take would carry weight. In fact, his credentials gave him credibility that many felt Josh and Bri lacked in this space. Fans said they wanted his perspective because they found Josh and Bri's interview awkward, and Oscar's professional background made him the perfect person to break it down. But no matter the reason, his reaction didn't sit well with Josh and Brianna. Instead of brushing it off, they saw it as an attack. And their response made things even worse. The plot thickened when Oscar also accused Brianna of making a homophobic jab at him. This took the situation from petty drama to a far more serious accusation. He claimed she insinuated that the only reason he was critical of Josh was because he secretly had a crush on him. That implication struck Oscar as a microaggression, one that felt dismissive of his credibility. And that's when things shifted into much more heated territory. Because once issues like homophobia are mentioned, fans tend to pay a lot more attention.
Then I did catch wind of one remark that Brianna made, and I was like, I don't know if I can let this go either. I really don't know.
It was bad. It was pretty bad. I was kind of like, ugh.
Yes. Brianna made a casually homophobic remark. And
too casually.
Very casually, yes. And during this little tirade against me, where she suggested that I was shady towards Josh because I have a crush on him.
Energy in between us. What's going on?
Maybe
I'm all about love.
Which is a very blatant microaggression. I get there's going to be people who say that's not that big of a deal, it's just a joke, but also considering the only times I ever hear about Brianna is when she's either being ignorant or cheated on. She has a track record of really putting her foot in her mouth and saying things that are offensive. So I shouldn't have been as surprised as I was, but it did kind of take me out for a second. So that I just couldn't overlook.
After that moment, Oscar doubled down. He made it clear that his original point wasn't meant to stir up endless drama. He explained that at the end of the day, he was simply questioning how Josh and Brianna landed the gig, because it truly seemed so random. But when Josh and Brianna fired back, they revealed something that connected all the dots. They mentioned that Josh had actually been invited to Adam Sandler's daughter's bat mitzvah, a personal connection that suddenly explained everything. For Josh, that invitation was proof that he wasn't just another podcaster. He had direct access to Sandler's world, and in his eyes, that alone made him more than qualified to land the interview. So when he casually said, "Of course I got the interview, I was at his daughter's bat mitzvah," fans were stunned. Because for many, that sounded less like professional credibility and more like personal privilege. Josh seemed to be saying, this wasn't about talent or media experience, it was about knowing the right people. And to Oscar, that explanation only highlighted his original point about why it felt so out of place. But instead of easing tensions, this revelation sparked even more questions. Fans started debating whether opportunities like this should come from networking or from professional qualifications. It quickly shifted from being about one interview to a much bigger conversation. Was Oscar being petty, or was he exposing the uncomfortable truth about how influence actually works?
We killed it. Also, I got invited to his daughter's bat mitzvah, right? It makes sense that I'm going to get to go and interview him. What are we talking about? I was at a bat mitzvah. Where were you, Oscar? Huh? Exactly.
I don't know why Oscar
bat
hates you
mitzvah.
so much.
Yeah, what the hell, Oscar? What's with this beef? When did I beef with you? Why do we have this?
Instead of clearing the air, things only spiraled further out of control. What could have been a simple disagreement about one interview now turned into full-on back-and-forth commentary. Josh and Brianna insisted they weren't looking for conflict, but the more they talked, the clearer it became that they were just as invested in the feud as Oscar and Trisha. Their tone suggested they felt unfairly targeted, but their repeated responses kept reigniting the fire. And by this point, fans were split. Some saying Oscar was stirring the pot, others saying BFFs just couldn't let it go.
Next hot take. Trisha and Oscar will just hate anything Barstool related. I don't think that's a hot take.
No, I don't think that's a hot take either.
Yeah, good take.
Oscar was jealous and projecting and upset he was... Wait, sorry. Oscar was jealous and projecting and upset he was called out for it. What the is this writing? What called out for it? What is it?
Oh, he freaked out that we... So you know how, but they're only mad at me for it. You know how he was like literally attacking you for no reason and we talked about it at the Adam Sandler interview?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he like went on a tangent and like flipped the out and like are sending his fans after me.
For what? Why?
He was like...
Where's all this animosity coming from?
He was literally like bullying you for no reason, so I stood up for you and like we barely said anything and then he like flipped out.
After that, the drama took an even sharper turn. Josh and Brianna reacted to Trisha and Oscar's response by claiming there was no real beef on their side. They painted the whole feud as completely one-sided, suggesting Oscar and Trisha were creating drama where none existed. But that explanation only raised eyebrows, because if there's no beef, why are they constantly firing back? They even brought up a hot take from their own podcast, agreeing with a fan who claimed Oscar and Trisha simply hate anything Barstool related. And by nodding along, they essentially doubled down on the idea that Oscar's criticism wasn't professional, it was personal. That kind of dismissal frustrated Oscar's supporters, who argued he was being written off without his points ever being taken seriously. To them, it looked like Josh and Brianna were dodging the criticism by labeling it as bias.
Oscar has a crush on me?
Oh, they're saying I was homophobic for saying that. Maybe he has a crush on you. I think that's what we said when we were talking about it the first time.
Because he kept talking about Josh, and then you were like, oh, maybe he just has a crush on you.
Yeah, apparently that's homophobic. But I would say that about if it was a girl talking about you. It's like when you bully the guy that you like in middle school.
Yeah, how would that be? That doesn't seem like anti-gay.
No. Grasping at straws. Grasping at straws.
Then came the most sensitive issue of all, the accusation of a homophobic remark. Brianna brushed it off, insisting her joke about Oscar having a crush on Josh wasn't rooted in homophobia at all. She claimed she would have said the exact same thing if Oscar were a girl criticizing Josh. In her eyes, it was a harmless, middle school style comment, not an attack on his sexuality. But that explanation didn't sit right with everyone. Fans pointed out that intent doesn't erase impact, and even casual remarks can carry harmful weight. The conversation around this only made the feud more explosive, because now it wasn't just about drama, it was about bigger cultural issues. And once accusations of microaggressions and ignorance entered the chat, the internet latched on even harder. After that, Josh and Brianna tried to defend themselves by saying they never really had an issue with Trisha. They claimed that, if anything, they were surprised to find themselves in this so-called feud at all. Brianna even went as far as showing an old apology she had once sent to Trisha years ago. She explained that it was after laughing at Trisha's OnlyFans with other Barstool members, and she wanted to prove she had owned up to it. For her, that message was evidence that she didn't have lingering negativity toward Trisha. But fans pointed out, one apology from years ago doesn't erase the tension building now. Josh echoed the same sentiment, saying they don't even bring up Trisha or Oscar unless it's in response to something. But again, critics noted that their actions didn't match their words. Since they keep bringing the feud back up, the more they insisted there was no beef, the more one-sided it started to feel. And that contradiction became a talking point online, with fans accusing them of gaslighting the situation.
I feel like were we not like, why is there all this hate? We're not hating?
Yeah, we were
Was
like,
that not our response?
we never talk about them unless they talk about us. You know what I mean? Like, we never...
Didn't we just say like, yo, we got an interview and we went and we took the interview? Why would we say no to the interview? What, we're gonna be like, no, we don't deserve this.
Yeah, I mean, I was
what
like...
the fuck is that shit? What are we doing here? This isn't like a drama TV show. We're gonna say yes to the interview when we have the interview. We're not like gonna like, I can't do it.
I know. I think,
What?
and then I was like, well, fuck you, because he was making fun of you and your shirt and saying you didn't deserve it. You're the last person to like get it. And I was just like, fuck you, dude. Why are you being so mean to Josh about this?
What the fuck? I don't even know Oscar.
I know,
How can we have this beef?
We've never talked about Oscar ever.
How can we
Only
have
if
this
he's
beef?
talked about you or me. Like, it's so crazy.
This is wild. I've never been in such a part of such a one-sided thing.
And here's where things got even more ironic, because Trisha had actually been saying the exact same thing on her end, that she didn't think there was any bad blood. She pointed out that she'd even defended Brianna in other dramas, like the Zach Bryan situation. To her, the idea of a feud seemed completely unnecessary, almost fabricated out of thin air. After watching both sides go back and forth, fans started pointing out something important. Neither group seemed to realize they were basically saying the same thing. Both BFFs and Trisha's side insisted there was no beef, yet both kept releasing new reactions that reignited the drama. Josh and Brianna said they barely even know Oscar and don't understand why he's so critical. Meanwhile, Trisha admitted she thought she and Brianna were on good terms, even friendly at times. The result was a feud that looked more like crossed wires than real hatred, and yet the internet was eating it up, replaying every clip and pushing the narrative that this was a full-on rivalry. The irony was hard to ignore. Everyone involved was claiming innocence, but their actions kept telling a different story. It felt like one of those moments where social media spun a tiny spark into a wildfire.
It's kind of sad because we've always kind of been, especially lately, I've been championing her. I even commented like, this is like cool. Like she's like on some show and I was like, oh, this is cool. Before all this, so it's like just weird to.
This is wild. I've never been in such a part of such a one-sided thing.
I know, same. It's literally one-sided beef. It's crazy.
Goodness gracious. Well, whatever. Maybe one day we'll all be not super anti each other. The thing is, I'm not even anti. I don't even know what says. Like, if someone was like, do you know Oscar and you see the things he's saying? Why do you hate him? I'd be like, I don't even know what I can tell you I hate
nothing
about
about
him.
this person.
I don't know. What do you mean? I also me and Trisha were cool. I thought me and Trisha were friends.
I know, me
Or at
too.
least acquaintances.
I literally
At least something.
DM'd Trisha years ago apologizing for all the shit that the OnlyFans stuff, and we squashed the beef, and I don't talk about it online because I don't that was a genuine apology that I sent her. We can put the fucking screenshot in if we need. It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm perplexed. That's all I can say. I'm perplexed. I didn't know I was in this drama. I'm
shocked, and all of his fans are just flooding all of my TikTok videos with pictures of Oscar.
By the time the dust settled, it was clear that all of this stemmed from Oscar being asked to react to one interview. What began as a harmless stream moment had now snowballed into one of the internet's messiest podcast feuds. Oscar argued he was just giving an honest reaction because fans wanted his professional opinion, but to BFFs, it felt like he was undermining their credibility and attacking their success. And now, with accusations of jealousy, bias, and even homophobia being thrown into the mix, the conversation has gone way beyond its original point.
And it's live.
Reaction is live. It's like your initial reaction. It was captured.
Yes, it was my initial reaction.
You didn't sleep on it and thought the next morning, like, I need to talk about this. It was just like,
It was live in the moment. This is the first time I heard about their interview for Happy Gilmore 2. It was also like 2 weeks after the movie came out. So, it was just a live in the moment reaction. And it was very unserious altogether. You know, it was just having a laugh.
The feud has become less about Adam Sandler and more about respect, boundaries, and how far creators should go when calling each other out. At the end of the day, this entire situation shows just how quickly internet drama can spiral. One offhand reaction can suddenly explode into a full-blown war of words, with fans fueling the fire every step of the way. So what do you guys think? Is this truly a feud? Or is it just the internet twisting casual comments into something bigger than they ever were? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, because I know this debate isn't slowing down anytime soon. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys!